Day 15. I gotta run them in, well, the big box store. I gotta get some 3/4 inch floorboard because the threshold gotta be 3/4 inches higher. I framed most of the door and completed the window frame in one day. What I found out is this was actually further out than this right here, so I had to bump this out some, and I was able to tell that by this threshold right here. So I had to bump that wall out a little bit. So it was pretty crazy how that wall was 2x4 and like 1.5 by 4 going all the way up. So I had to kind of make for it to get this straight across right here. So either way, headed to Menards now. It's gonna be day 15. This is kind of like framing a door, but kind of like not. I'm just been updating you on everything I'm doing, making this back porch into an enclosed back porch. This is the 3/4 inch floorboard I bought. I only bought a 2 foot by 4 foot section of this floorboard because I'm just gonna make the threshold right now. So I'm gonna just, all I'm making is a threshold, and you see how the old threshold came all the way to the side this way, but it didn't go all the way to the side that way. So with the new threshold, I am gonna have it come all the way out evenly on both sides of the door right here. I've looked at houses with it and without it like that, and I just feel it does make it a nicer sheen. This right here is a pressure treated plywood, which is going to go over the top of this right here. So is it going to be exposed to the weather? Possibly, but possibly not, because I bought some aluminum to wrap it. Now this right here is a threshold sealer. I actually have to do, you got the rubber one, but this is a foam and rubber one. So what I'm gonna have to do to get no air leaks under this is gonna have to be caulked when I put this down here. And then when I put this one on top of it, then this is gonna get put around to stop the air leaks on the top. But since I'm putting another floorboard down, this is gonna have to be caulked really good to stop the air leaks. Another thing is, you see I have no header here for the door. There's no header yet, but I got 2 inches extra between these two right here all the way up, so I can shim 2 inches extra, but you need 2 inches at the top also. So if I put the header in with 2 inches off of this, it would be wrong because my threshold and my sealer is gonna take away from that 2 inches. So that's why I'm doing the threshold first, then I'm putting the door on. So what I'm going to do, oh, and also I bought a slow window and door. The difference between regular foam and you want to put foam between your window and door leaks is this is slow rising window and foam. So this isn't going to have the pressure to push 2 pieces of wood apart like the fast one can rip two, like put a little bow in 2 pieces. The window and door is a slow rise one, and it more or less just pressures and pushes itself out. So that's the difference. All right, let me start with the floorboard. Okay, my first cut is gonna be from this edge of the threshold that was already here to the new edge of the threshold that I'm already gonna make. So that's 39 inches. I marked it right on the board, 39 inches, and I measured the width of the door. The width of the actual door is 5 3/4 inches. So I venture to say this would probably be 6 inches from here. No, that's only 4.5. From the threshold to there is 4.5. So the door is probably gonna stick out more than this because the door is 5 3/4 inches total. So, oh, I gotta figure out for the look at that. I gotta figure out for the outside, for the plywood on the outside and the drywall on the inside. So it's a 1/2 inch plywood that's going to be on the outside, so there's just going to be a tiny bit of this sticking out, so that's going to be easy to wrap. I got a bender somewhere around there. All right, measure, cut twice, cut once. I have to cut this around here. So this right here sits right here, this comes to about right here, and then this goes back on this side right here. So I got to get that measurement out right now. All right, here's where you use your squares at, your measuring tape. This is 1 inch that sticks out around the front of the door. It comes 5 inches in, then a 3.5 inch over here around the door, then 3 3/4 inch back that way. So I gotta do all this with the square now before I get the cut. Now I might do start in a little bit right here and start in a little bit right here, But I'm gonna finish the cut with a vibrating saw. What? The kid kind of knows what he's doing. Look at that. Let me tell you this though. I'm glad I only need 5 3/4 or 6 inches of this, because there is a gap there that I don't like. Although, you know me, I'm the king of silicone and liquid nails. They would just fill that in. But right now I'm just using this for the threshold. So whatever 5 3/4 inches back right here, I'm actually gonna glue it down, glue it in, and I'm gonna screw it in. I'm not gonna nail it in, I'm gonna screw it in. So this right here, I'm gonna have plywood on the front of this, and then this is gonna get wrapped with aluminum right here. The other side of the threshold right here will get wrapped with aluminum also. Yeah, so one side of this threshold gotta come up. That side gotta come up a little bit to make it completely level. Now if I put this side right here, this side looks completely level, but this side right here seems off. So the best way for us to do is cut the 5 3/4 and just level the 5 3/4, because I got the whole board right now. The further review, I found out there's a lump in the board right here. It's not from pressure, because I even shaved it down some, so it's not from pressure. There's just a lump in the board. So I'm gonna have some shims available, and I'm gonna start screwing this down right in here to get that lump out of it, and then keep trying to put my levels on it, because you see it's just a lump that's got it off. So I'm gonna get some liquid nails, put it underneath that threshold all the way across. I don't care if it spills out or whatever. And then with the screws, start screwing in different by different, piece by piece, so I get it level. And then I'll let it dry like that, because the screws will pull this down for sure in the center, and the liquid nail will dry wherever it needs to dry it. But before you put this down, make sure it's smooth and clean and all the old caulk off and all that stuff. And I'm liquid nailing in between here really good, because even though you're gonna seal this, you might get a leak under that one. And I'm raising the floor by 3/4 of an inch all on the inside with a new floor, and it's like extra insulation because it's so cold out here. All right, that's a good bead of liquid nail right there. And then this is gonna go on top of the liquid nail, and I do know there's a lump in here, so I do have to screw it down. The lump is prevalent, so I'm gonna shoot my first 2 screws where the lump is at. All right, I'm starting to shim up the other end, and you see the bubbles almost at center. So I'm gonna start screwing down this side over here, because this will help this side kind of bow down a little bit that way. Okay. All these shims are what it took to get it even. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut all these shims. Even I'm gonna cut all these shims with the vibrating saw straight across. Oh, I'm gonna screw them in first. I got about 2 more screws right here. Screw on the shim, screw on the shim, screw on the shim, screw on the shim, and then I'm gonna cut them off with a vibrating saw, and then I'm gonna put some liquid nail in between all right here. So you want this level, and then for the measurements up, I could go off with 84 inches from this level part right here. All right, don't leave your liquid nail sit like this, because once that sucker dries, you will not be able to get your drywall flush. Make sure it's nice and smooth. I put on a rubber glove, because in between all these gaps now, I'm gonna liquid nail in between all those gaps, and it's gonna look like the threshold is kind of crazy, but realistically that's level. With the vibrating saw, I could try to get a line right here to make it a little bit more level, but I'm just gonna probably just leave it like that and let that be level. All right, there's my level threshold right there. I liquid nailed it in. I put on a glove to smooth it out, but if you're gonna do that, make sure you got a glove under the glove, because I got the worst splinter ever, because it went right through the rubber glove. But the threshold is good. Now I can start measuring the door frame. 84 inches I gotta go. All right, if you've been following my channel, what is next? Yes, the header. So this is gonna be the jack stud, this is gonna be the king stud. So I marked out where the header is gonna go, and I got so used to cutting them. I start lining everything with the vibrating saw to make sure everything's lined right, and then I use the Sawzall to just cut the rest of it out. All right, cut out the morsels right there for the header for the door. Coming along, gonna put the header across, gonna put two cripples, and a centerpiece. Then I could hang the door. Well, no, then I could do the plywood. Buddy Rob here, aka Trey of 2323. I gotta make a little crazy cut like this in some plywood for the full sheet. And one thing I swear by is a vibrating saw. These little vibrating saws, they vibrate and they allow you to cut with just the vibration. If it's not in your tool chest, you should have one. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, TREV2323. Subscribe, like, and share. All right, here I am, completely exhausted. Everything is framed and sheathed. I'm doing the house wrap right now. It started raining on me about an hour ago. That's why I stopped recording. So I got this cut back already where the door is. I don't know why I did that, because I'm gonna wrap it around this way also to double it up. So, or I could just leave it like that and just double it up right here with the red tape and staple it. But I am house wrapping all the way underneath here, all the way around. 7 feet by 10 feet of house wrap is what I need to get me to this corner right here. Then I'll tape it at the corner. All right, still trucking along. Okay, I'm as done for the day. Sheathed. Actually, I started trimming the sheathing to put the rubber tape on it for the door, but I just ran out of lights. And with me with these eyes right here, there's no way I can see. So I can start, as of tomorrow, I can start doing the doors and the windows, and that's when it's gonna start taking full effect. We're gonna wrap the bottom with mobile home wrapping to stop the weather from in there, but I just kind of lost light today. I'm not getting rid of all these 1/2 inch because I gotta make 1/2 inch furring strips for the other side to put the whole panel up on the other side on the bottom. That's our neighbor's side, but I do want to make it, you know, real nice on the other side. This is a 1/2 inch further inward than the rest of it, this wall right here. So I'm gonna put furring strips and then the 1/2 inch full sheet on the other side, and then this way I'm able to do whatever we want with it. All right, either way, tomorrow is another day. Talk to you later. Subscribe, like, and share.